Warning: the Listen Up Anime podcast may contain spoilers and mature language not suitable for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Listen Up Anime podcast. My name's Ray. I'm here with my two friends, Mecha and Astralnemia, and today we're just going to talk about our opinions on anime in general, starting with our favorite anime.
All right.
So, yep.
Hola.
Hi, before we get into that, I would like to introduce ourselves. So, I'm Mecha. I've been an avid anime fan for... How long has it been now? I think I started watching anime when I was 15, so that's 7 years ago. Watch Clannad and never look back.
Yo.
I consider myself a rom-com enthusiast, and that's where a lot of my favorite anime come from. Yeah, that's me.
All right. So my name is Astralnemia. I've been a fan of anime since, I guess, Pokemon? I don't know. I think that was the first one I watched. But I've been a fan of anime since Funimation had a channel on TV. I don't know if anyone remembers that.
Toonami?
Yeah. Toonami, yeah. That was
Okay,
a thing in Adult Swim.
honestly, I watched that too, but like obviously I watched Pokemon when I was a kid, but I don't consider that anime.
That's still
you know?
an anime? Man.
Okay.
But yeah. So I wouldn't consider myself an enthusiast of anything. It's more like if it's good, I'll probably watch it. I like just good shit, bro. I like good stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And as I said earlier, my name's Ray. My general... I guess my timeline for watching anime started in like middle school. I know I watched Pokemon before that, but like my real like first taste of anime was probably Sword Art Online, and then after that it was AOT. Like I started with all the mainstream stuff, but now I've turned more into like a slice of life watcher. I really like cute stuff. Especially cute girls doing cute things.
Don't we all? Okay.
Right. So yeah, looks like we should just get started with our favorite anime. I know we talked about what we started with, but what's more of our favorites?
Okay.
What would you say, Mecha?
So, I think it's very hard to have like a number one favorite anime, but like
sure.
when you think about an anime, like that like profoundly shaped who I am like as a person, it's gotta be Clannad After Story. I know it's so overdone to this point, but Clannad After Story was like one of the first media in like general that I've watched, and I was just like, wow, this is actually insane. Like, how could there's actually like there's story like this, there's animation like this. It was just a ride. Absolute ride for me.
And I think for its time, Clannad After Story was like just this beautiful standout piece of production that really you didn't see anything like it. I liked the way when I watched Clannad that the first season was more about like building characters, like getting to know them, instead of like hitting you with like most of the hard hitting stuff and then saving that for after story. I think that was really cool.
You see, a lot... Okay. I think... Yeah, this is going to be the first hot take of the evening. I think...
Barely started.
I think Clannad, the first season of Clannad, gets too much shit, okay? It gets too much shit. People hate on it because it's boring. I don't think it's boring. Okay? I think it's very essential in order to understand what After Story is.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
No, because if you didn't watch the first season of Clannad, then you're not going to really care about what happens to the characters after they've all, like, gotten together and everything like that. So if you don't watch season 1, then you're not going to enjoy season 2 nearly as much.
So I've seen too many people online. They don't give respect to Clannad season 1. And I just can't agree with that. Can't.
Yeah, without it, like, the emotional connection that you would have to characters just wouldn't be there.
Exactly. And it's not like it was bad. The first season was like badly done either. So,
And to be fair, like if you watch Clannad nowadays, it's gonna seem, kind of dated by the times. But like back then, like considering when it came out,
I
it
don't
was
think it's
pretty
dated.
solid.
I don't think it's
It was
dated.
pretty solid.
I
don't know,
still think it stands up very well to some of the anime we see these days.
What season one?
Okay, season 1 maybe.
Season one?
Okay.
I don't know about season one.
Okay,
Story
okay.
holds up pretty well.
Okay.
After story holds up pretty well. But
After
season one is
story
pretty dated.
After story is just one of the best stories you'll see in an anime. Easily.
You think so?
I think so. That is that a hot take?
I don't think that's a.
Yeah,
fair.
I feel like that's normal.
Okay.
It's fair to think that. I think.
Rather
Okay.
than lukewarm take. All right, Astro, what would you say, if not a favorite anime, like your top like 3 or certain amount?
My top 3.
Just
Well,
like
I don't-
when you think about a favorite anime, what is it's like someone asks you, what's your favorite anime? What's the first anime that comes to your mind?
Oh,
Yeah.
The first anime that comes to my mind is probably just Cowboy Bebop. In all honesty.
Ooh.
Because back when, okay, so I'm gonna set the scene, right? I'm gonna set the scene. It was Christmas, and my uncle had bought me a DVD for Cowboy Bebop, and because he knew I was into anime at the time, and he said I would like really like it or whatever. So he gave me the DVD, his DVD, and at the time I had gotten like my first TV for my room, and I set that up. I set up the DVD player. And I watched the whole thing in one night. That Christmas night, I watched the entirety of Cowboy Bebop in one night, and like with the lights off under my covers, and it was like an experience I will never forget. I cried a lot. Like it was the first time I saw it, right? So it's like I didn't know anything to expect. No one ever told me what happened in Cowboy Bebop. It was just one of those experiences where it's like, yeah, this is the show that really just hit me, and I don't think anything has really matched my experience with Cowboy Bebop, since I'm not going to be like an elitist, like, oh no, Cowboy Bebop is just the best thing ever. But for me, it is like one of my favorite things ever. I adore Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, certainly like really impactful, like when you were watching it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna be real with you.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never watched Cowboy Bebop.
I know a lot of people that haven't seen Cowboy Bebop.
I love Shinichiro Watanabe's work. I think all of his
Carol Tuesday.
I have not. I do.
That's his most recent show.
I plan to watch it, but it's I don't know. I saw Carol on Tuesday and I was like, when was the last time Shinichiro did a music anime? And then I remembered Kids on the Slope, and I was like,
Kids on the Slope wasn't that bad.
It just wasn't as good. I'm more experienced in stuff like Zankyo no Terror. That was incredible show. You never watched it. You should watch Zankyo no Terror. And like Samurai Champloo. Those shows I'm familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And
you've seen Champloo and you've never gone.
Yeah, I know, right?
Insane.
I know.
That's insane.
But yeah, I do. One day I will watch it, and I'm sure it's a masterpiece. It's just I've never actually gotten the chance to just sit down and like, okay, I'm gonna watch Cowboy Bebop today.
Oh yeah,
it's one of those shows. Some you ever have like those shows where you feel like I have to be in the right headspace for it. You know what I mean? Like you can't just like I can't just turn on something like
that's
Evangelion
me
and be like I'm gonna watch this. Like no, you have to be in the right headspace for like I think I'm ready to get into this now. Okay. So I feel it.
That's actually me when it comes to a lot of like these older anime.
Yeah.
I need to like be okay with like these really grainy like anime filters and things like that, and like just be okay.
What sells?
Yeah, it's like I don't know, man. I'm gonna be real with you. Old anime, I just think it's so ugly. I'm sorry,
really?
man. I just think old anime is really ugly.
That is a hot take.
That is a hot take. We're starting off early in this episode with my hot takes.
Are we gonna talk about how older anime?
Not today. I don't think it's on the itinerary, but we can definitely talk about older anime in the future and my opinions on them, because I think I have a few interesting ones. But anyways, how about you,
including
Ray?
that one?
I think definitely when I think of like my favorite anime, I don't have like a number one favorite, but in terms of something that's impacted me a lot, like Nemia, I would probably say Evangelion.
Mm.
That one was pretty huge. There's also Love Live, not necessarily for its content, but more of just like when I discovered it and the people that it's led me to meet.
Mm-hmm.
Like those sort of relationships I've been able to make. I've held those incredibly close. So yeah, those two have definitely made like the biggest difference in my life. But yeah, Ava, obviously really highly acclaimed. A lot of people have watched that and enjoyed it. So I don't think that's to anyone's surprise, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have actually not watched all of Ava either. I'm an anime fan, by the way. Okay, it's because it's because I've like like you said, I need to be in a certain kind of mood to watch these anime. And I'm like never in the mood to watch something like Ava.
I don't want to be depressed.
Yeah, I'm like never ever in that kind of headspace to watch that show.
Am I ready to be sad right now?
Yeah.
All right, I'll hold it off another week.
That's exactly how I feel, actually.
I feel it.
Oh no.
Man.
But yeah, that's our favorite anime, pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey Mecha, you got to be in the right headspace to watch Love Live.
It's
a hard show to digest.
It's funny you speak about Love Live because I'm about to say some things about it in a little bit.
Oh no!
I'm about to say some things about it in a little bit.
How about we take this opportunity to move into anime that we really not necessarily hate, but like dislike, you know.
Okay, we'll talk about our 3x3 at the end then. Okay. Anime that we dislike. Okay, you want to go first, Astral?
Yeah, because I'm gonna be real. I don't have an anime that I outright dislike. You know what I mean? Because like either I haven't seen an anime yet that I outright dislike, or whatever I've seen it's just very meh. Just like whatever. Like it's just a show I watched. It's like not really like some probably. I will say, like, you ever watch a show and it's just like that was a waste of time. That's any like trash isekai that comes out to just waste.
Okay, listen,
minutes upon minutes of my life. That is like an example I would use for like an anime that's the closest thing to an anime I hate. Something like that. Something like that.
Darn God.
Okay, well. We're not there yet.
Okay.
The isekai example that you bring up is a pretty good one, because while I wouldn't say I have like stuff that I hate, I really I can't stand like filler isekai that are just there to like cash on the trend.
Yeah.
Do you have an example?
Yeah, do you actually?
There's been a couple. There's this one anime, I forget the exact name, but the premise was this guy goes to another world, and the catch is that he has his smartphone.
I was about to say that.
Literally called In Another World with Your Smartphone, Rachel.
Wait, that's literally
That's the title.
That one, my friend swears by it, but it is...
He does?
Yeah, he does. I don't know why. He just, like, eats this content up.
Wow, we should get him on the show. That's crazy.
Yeah, we need to understand his thought process.
He's actually, like a hardcore, like, rom-com head, too, so... You two might be able to relate on something.
Mecha, what's up? What's up with your boy, Mecha? What's going on?
Oh my goodness,
he's one of y'all.
We don't claim him. We don't claim him. We do not claim him here in the Rom-Com clan.
There's a whole clan.
There is.
Okay. How about you, Mecha? Is there like anything?
Okay. So. See here, I'm a very spiteful person when it comes to anime, okay?
Oh. Spiteful?
Very spiteful.
I
will say, if the story for an anime can be really, 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 really trash, okay?
Yes.
But if the animation sucks, your show sucks. Okay, I'm very much a visual person. Okay, I like my visuals in anime. So at least if your show is gonna be like a trash isekai, make it look good. Okay, that's all I ask. Because that's the only reason I watch these isekai shows is for the eye candy. But you have shows like
There's not that many isekai shows that have eye candy, in my opinion.
well, like just shows that like look good visually. I would say Konosuba is one that looks very good visually. As ugly as I think some of the characters are at times, but it's kind of done on purpose. But that show's very well animated. But when you're a show, like let's talk about the mom isekai, that's trash. That's absolutely garbage.
That's another show.
Okay, that is a trash show. Okay, and if you know me, that's like the kind of show that you think I would like, but I don't.
Like as a
at all.
That's not the kind of show I think you would like. That's the kind of show I think I would like tell you. Like,
okay,
hey, bro, you seen the mom isekai? I would tell you that as a meme.
Okay, here's the thing. I actually enjoy these kind of really trashy light novel like isekai adaptations. Like they're a guilty pleasure for me, because I can just turn my brain off and just watch them. That they're just entertainment. Okay, I don't glean anything from these kind of stories, except for entertainment. But
I used to be able to do something like that, but like I just get so tired of it, bro. Like there's so many shows that just like so many like isekai, for example, that just insist upon themselves to just copy what like SAO has done. Because like the isekai boom started because of SAO. And there's been so many isekai now to just insist upon themselves and just there to like cash in just because SAO was so popular. And it really bothers me because they're just wasting their time. Like I've seen one episode of the mom isekai and I already knew like, oh, this is gonna be like whatever. I've seen the smartphone isekai. I've seen Parallel World Rhapsody or whatever that one was. It was garbage.
Wait, Parallel World Rhapsody. What's the synopsis for that show? I might have seen that.
I literally could not care less.
Okay.
They are just oh my gosh, they're just so boring and they're so similar to each other. I just wish that wasn't.
I remember. I told you about this. There was a season of anime, right? And
I remember.
So the three I was watching three of the shows. I was watching three of the shows that are airing in the same season, and I swear they all like melded together. Okay, so it was the season where Asterisk War, Taimado Gakuen, the Anti-Magic Academy 34th Platoon or whatever the hell that's called, and then like Chivalry of Fell Knight. They are all airing at the same time, and
all of them had the same premise.
They all had the same exact characters. Every single. I literally watched an episode of Asterisk War, and then I went to go watch like Anti-Magic Academy, and I was like, whoa, wait, was this? What the heck? Is this different anime? Like the main characters are the exact same. Like they look the same. The cast of characters around them are the same. I was like, at least Chivalry of a Failed Knight was good. I actually think that was a really well done like light novel like fantasy battle romance garbage trash show.
It was pretty solid.
It was better than what it should have been, which should have been trash.
I feel that actually.
But it was trash with like a bow on it. That's what I felt about that. I was like, this is a nice looking piece of trash right here. I'll give it a thumbs up. Oh, another thing one thing I do a lot of stuff that I really dislike, but like I'm obviously not gonna talk about all of them right now. But recently I watched have you heard of Mecha? When the Promised Flower Blooms? It was.
Is that the show with the? Is that a movie or a show?
It's a movie. Sorry, it's a movie.
Is that the movie with like the blonde haired girl?
Yeah. It's
right?
Mario. It's Mario. Okay. First off, watch that movie. Watch that movie. You can rent it on YouTube, which I did, and it is one of Mario Okada for me. Okay, if you don't know, Mario Okada is direct. She wrote Anohana. She writes like all the stuff that like makes you cry. This is her directorial debut. So she never directed anything in terms of anime before. She's only written. And as a directorial debut, fantastic movie. This movie came out the same year as Your Name, so no one talked about it. No one.
Yeah.
And after watching Makia, I think it's better than Your Name. No joke. No joke. I think
Okay.
Makia was the best movie that came out in 2018. Easily.
Add that
Easily.
to the list of hot takes.
Easily.
Well, I haven't seen Makia in order to compare, but Your Name was pretty solid.
Yeah.
I liked it.
But but Makia is a very interesting take on like family bonds and like the role of like a mother.
Oh,
Okay.
so this is gonna make me fucking.
Okay, and it's also done.
Oh,
It's also done by the Grand Blue character designer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's very evident when you see it. You'll be like, oh, this is like Grand Blue, Bravely Default, and like stuff like that. Character designer.
Damn, all right.
But
I'll have to watch that.
a show that just does family bonds wrong. I guess the manga does. I think you can guess here is Usagi Drop. What a terrible,
Oh my god.
terrible way of exploring family bonds.
Wait.
Terrible.
Is that the show? Wait, spoiler.
Spoiler, yeah, spoiler.
Is that the show where at the end, like the girl grows up?
Yes.
And they become a couple?
Yes.
Oh.
It's so bad. It's terrible.
Yeah.
And Makia was like a similar kind of thing because it's still about like growing up and stuff. But they don't Usagi Drop it, as Mother's Basement said. And I was like,
it's a bad term.
oh,
They didn't
thank you so much. Thank you that the movie did not end so bad. But that movie actually just destroyed me. Like, I just looked at like all the promo, like visuals for it. I was like, wow, this is gonna absolutely just destroy me watching this. And it did. I think I had like a 5-minute like really ugly cry at the very end of the movie.
Damn.
Because that ending is just it's so heart wrenching, but like in a good way.
I feel it.
But yeah, definitely
I'll give it a shot.
go watch Makia. That is some heat.
Okay, I know what I'm doing after this. All right, so now that we've been through the anime that we've disliked, I know you mentioned earlier, let's start with our 3x3s. I don't have one myself, but I think you two have.
Yeah, you do.
I have a manga 3x3, but I don't have an anime 3x3.
What was that?
yet.
Oh, didn't you send me that? What was that thing you sent me like last time we talked? Isn't that your anime 3x3?
That was an example.
That's an example. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll talk about my anime 3x3 then. Okay. So, I'll list all 9 and then we can talk about it. Okay. So, we have Clannad, very obvious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair.
Makes sense.
We have Code Geass. We have Little Busters.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay, controversial. We have Nisekoi. Very
What?
controversial.
Really?
Very controversial. Very controversial.
Wait, I just want to know why.
Very controversial. I'll talk about it.
For what purpose?
Okay. We have Katekyo Hitman Reborn. Have any of you heard of that
Hitman?
show?
It's been so long since I've seen
That show is one of the most underrated shonen anime of all time. Easily.
Yeah,
I've never seen it, but
I've never heard of it.
I think that show's amazing. I'll talk about it in a bit. Okay. I have Ping Pong the animation.
okay. That's fire.
Matsuki Yuasa's best work
That's
in my
fire.
opinion. In my opinion.
Best
amazing.
director, you said?
It's Matsuki Yuasa. I think that's his best work. I believe that he's the director.
What, Ping Pong?
Ping Pong. I think that's his best work. I said I'm an animation fiend, and that show was like really weird animation, but I did not care because
No, that show's
it was so like such a realistic portrayal of like competing stuff like that. Following that, speaking of like competing, I have Shigatsu no Lion.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Ooh.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Absolutely fantastic. As like a person who's like very competitive in like sports and things like that, I think like those two I just listed, like they spoke to me. Like as a person. They're really fantastic. Then I have Madoka Magica.
okay.
Because that was one of the best anime I've seen in my whole life, easily.
Yeah, that is.
Oh yeah.
I remember I
That
watched
show's
one
prime.
episode. I watched one episode, and then I watched the whole series in one night. And then I went to school, came home, watched Rebellion, and it was very interesting.
Man.
You watched Madoka in one night.
Yeah, one night, all in one sitting.
That must have hurt.
It
Yeah,
did.
what-
It
what
did.
is
I was
it?
like, man, what am I watching? And then I watched Rebellion the next night, man. It was just like, holy moly.
You didn't have enough. You wanted to suffer more.
I know. And then from the final part in my 3x3 is My Hero Academia, because of
Okay.
course.
Love that show.
Okay, do you have any glaring questions about my 3x3? I know there's one. There's a question. Okay.
Well, Rachel, you can lead up with your Nisekoi question first.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, why?
Why? Okay. All right, listen to me. Okay.
Listen up.
So, listen up. Okay. Shaft did an amazing adaptation of that manga. I'll say that. Okay. If you actually look at my list, you see that I have three entries from Studio Shaft. I have Madoka, Sangatsu, and Nisekoi. I think Shaft is a fantastic studio. Okay, they just are really, really quirky. Akiyuki Shimbo is kind of an idiot sometimes, but that's okay. We all are. But Nisekoi was just
facts.
Nisekoi was just in my opinion, a very funny, very well animated rom-com to me.
I'll give you well animated.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like just Shaft just knows how to animate these kind of weird weird kind of manga. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's many angles in that show. Oh, there's also one episode where it focuses on a side character. And if y'all know what I'm talking about, anyone who's watched like Nisekoi season 2, the shoe episode, wow, what an episode!
Shoe episode.
It focuses on the side character's shoot, but that is an incredibly well done episode. I was like, dude, this is crazy. And sure, like all the characters are really tropey and stuff like that, and like the plot is very kind of convoluted. But I just think as an anime, it was just so much fun to watch, and it's definitely a guilty pleasure for me. I will admit it's a guilty pleasure, and I agree that I won't super argue. People call it kind of trashy, but I don't think you can argue that it looks bad. I think it's quite a work of art in terms of just animation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
All things considered, though, if you're gonna put all those Shaft shows, I'm surprised that Monogatari isn't on your list at all.
It's because I've never watched Monogatari.
Bro!
I haven't.
Okay. Listen.
No. Let me finish.
Okay. Go.
I'm just shocked you've never seen it at all. I think it's fair that like you haven't gone through all of it or anything.
I'm just surprised you haven't seen it. I've watched part of. Okay, I'll tell you what part I watched. I watched Owari Monogatari, and I was so lost.
First?
Yeah. Yes.
No.
I was like, dude, what is this like? What is this like? Spooky girl, and like,
who is this? Start off on a random season.
Who is this? Who is this math bitch, man? Oh my god, you're so annoying.
No, Mecha, be real with me. Did you start off on a random season of Monogatari?
Yes,
bro. Wait.
I have seen a little bit of Bake. I think I watched.
You've seen a little bit of Bake.
Yeah, I think I've watched like first 4 episodes, and then I'm like, all right, this is a lot of reading. Maybe I'll pick this up some other time, and then I just never picked it up again.
Man. Did you just like randomly decide? Okay, I'm gonna watch a random.
I don't know. It was okay. I remember this night. I was really bored browsing the Crunchyroll seasonal charts as I do very often.
Yeah.
And then I just see Owari Monogatari is airing on the season, and I saw like what's her name? The Ogi Oshino, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like, yo, this girl looks fucking weird.
She's shady.
She looks weird.
Shady.
I'm a watch. And then I was like, yeah, I have no clue what's going on. And I watched more. I watched like the entire like Math Dare arc, and I was
watched the entire
and then I realized
season,
and then I was like, yo, I'm a stop.
You're
I'm a
thought
stop.
process.
You fucked up. You fucked up, bro. You fucked up, bro.
I guess in general, like my other comment for your 3x3 would be like, for a self-proclaimed like rom-com guy, there isn't like much on there besides like Nisekoi.
Yeah. I mean,
is Nisekoi your favorite rom-com?
you know what? I'm gonna say Nisekoi is top 5 rom-coms.
Okay.
Top 5 easily. Because that Nisekoi was also an anime that I watched very early on in my anime like watching
Oh, it was
career.
one of your first.
Yeah, it was also one of my first. It was the first anime I think I watched like weekly, like streams.
Oh.
Yeah,
I feel that.
but I also do think it's actually very good. I would say if not top 5, maybe top 3, maybe top 3. I would need to make a list in order to like actually think about. I need to like think about it. But yeah.
All right. Sounds good. I suppose Nemia, since you really only have a manga 3x3, if you don't want to introduce that, we can move on if you'd like to.
I'll introduce my manga 3x3.
Sure.
These are mangas everyone needs to read. Deadass.
I can already guess what's gonna be on there.
Oh yeah. All right. Say it.
Okay.
On God.
Okay. So you're gonna have My Hero.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Beastars?
You're not Beastars for sure. For sure. 100%
Beastars.
Beastars.
I do have Beastars on my list. Yes.
Utena?
I have not read the Utena manga.
I actually don't know. I just know Beastars on there.
Yeah.
Land of the Lustrous?
Yes, Land of the Lustrous is also on.
This guy's a Studio Orange stan. I see.
I do like Studio Orange.
I actually don't know.
Yeah, I can't really think
I don't know manga.
All right, so we got One Punch Man. The One Punch Man manga is incredible. The artwork is I don't know if you've ever seen my boy's artwork. One Punch Man. Yeah, no, not one. The guy who does the manga for it, like you know how there's like One Punch Man, like the web comic, and there's One Punch Man.
Oh, one doesn't do the art for the manga, or no?
No.
Oh, I thought he did.
No. So basically, what happened was One wrote the web comic, right, and that got like huge. It got really huge, and so this dude named Yusuke Murata, who did the artwork for I Shield 11. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Okay, yeah.
He did the artwork for I Shield 11.
Dude.
He decided to adapt the webcomic and like, remake the webcomic and into like a new like manga. And the artwork on it looks phenomenal. And it just keeps getting better, like with every chapter. His artwork in detail when he draws, like just even like the most mundane, I just love the artwork on One Punch Man. And as a gag manga, like as an improvement over the gag manga, well, in my opinion, I prefer the Yusuke version over the One version, even though I do love the webcomic. But I just love the artwork way too much, and I like the improvements to the story as well.
I was about to say, I don't think One is a good artist at all.
Well, it has a certain charm to it, but it's kind of like Zun's art.
Yeah.
Like
From Toho.
It's like it has a certain. I don't think people think it's like good or anything, but I think it has a certain charm to it.
It has a style.
Yeah, it has a certain charm to it, and the style, the stories like that One makes are just like engaging enough, and sometimes in Mob Psycho's case, really great enough for people to keep reading despite the art style. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
But yeah, the One Punch Man manga is on there. Number 2 is Oyasumi Pun Pun.
I should have guessed that. I should have guessed that.
Pun Pun is one of my like Inio Asano is one of my favorite mangas of all time. His stories, like, he's able to like bring these like characters that they feel. Okay, the thing about Asano is that like he's able to make these characters, right? They feel incredibly human, but he's able to put them into these situations, and these situations can range from like really fun, like, but they're also like a lot of them are really grounded and terrifying. Like, I'll give you an example. Like,
I was gonna say, Pun Pun is a very, very, very real shit manga.
It's
like,
what
the hell?
It's a very. It gets Pun Pun gets to some really dark places. That's all I'll say.
And you definitely don't expect it if you just like look at the cover of the manga, you're like,
Oh no, absolutely. You're gonna think like, who's this unassuming like little bird cartoon character? No.
and then you read it and you're like, what?
What happens in Pun Pun is just sometimes it's just terrible, bro. It's just, but as a whole, it's still one of my favorite manga. It has a really engaging story. I love the characters, and I love the way Asano just like does like the artwork. And I just love Asano. He's one of my favorite art. Another manga from him I'd recommend is Solanin. It's like a self-contained thing. It's not like volumes. It's just like one big book. I own it because I bought it from Barnes and Noble. It's just one big book. But if you have the chance, I would highly recommend Solanin as well, with Pun's on there. The third thing on my list is Made in Abyss.
I forgot that was a manga first.
Yeah, Made in Abyss was a manga first. I love Rachel knows how much I like Nazi.
You know, I've never seen that show, and I don't think I'm going to. Cause
really?
I am not a fan of like that kind of show. That kind of show is little.
I'm children suffering.
I'm just not down for like body horror and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
It's not really. A lot of it's not really body horror. It's just like
it does get like a bit graphic.
It does get pretty graphic, but I will say, but it's only like for shock a lot of the time. But it also gives you like the gravity of how like dangerous going into the abyss is. Mm-hmm. From like recent chapters, usually it's like it's not. The thing is, it's not like gratuitous and violent just for the sake of it. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, it's not like just it's not fucking Corpse Party.
Yeah, it's not Corpse. yeah.
By the way, I forgot to mention Corpse Party, and really any show that just says shock value, fuck that.
Yeah. But like the stuff in the violence in Made in Abyss isn't just like they don't just throw it in. It's there to like, oh god, the abyss is like a terrifying and dangerous place to be in, and just even the escaping the abyss is a trial unto itself. But I don't think it's like that. I don't think it's just throwing the violence out there, and it's like it's used pretty sparingly in my opinion. But I'd still. Like, just considering the characters and, like, the way the story goes, I like the feel of it. It's pretty... I know a lot of people have described Made in Abyss as a comfy show, but until it isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember watching the preview for that, like, on, like, the Annie list. I was like, dude, this show looks fucking dumb. This show... Because I never read the manga. I had no... This is my first exposure to the source material. I was like, dude, the show looks like some really trashy moe shit. And, like, these main characters, they look so derpy. But apparently I was wrong. So...
It blew a lot of people's expectations out of the water.
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect it to be what it was.
And I know you were mentioning earlier about how, like, the visuals in an anime are like really important to you. Made in Abyss has those visuals. It is.
Oh yeah.
I don't doubt that. I don't.
Made in Abyss is beautiful. Like
who's the studio? Who's the studio that did Made in Abyss? Unless you're only talking about the manga here.
This is my manga 3x3, so it's still one of my favorite manga. But Made in Abyss,
probably White Fox. White Fox probably do that kind of stuff. I think it's White Fox.
I don't think it was White Fox. It could,
or maybe Bones. I'm not sure.
No, not Bones.
Adapted by Kinema Citrus.
Kinema Citrus. I think that was their first. I think that was one of their first works. I'm pretty sure.
That's a really good showing.
Because I remember seeing that studio and I was like, I have no clue who this studio is. I might be wrong though. No, but if that's their debut work, that's incredible.
They've also done Gochiusa, but I don't believe their debut work, considering the studio was made closer to 2008, 2009.
Okay, then I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
But that's okay.
I didn't even know that they did Gochiusa. That's wild.
Yeah. But also somehow.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
So yeah, that's Made in Abyss. Love that. Fourth one is Doro Hidoro. I know that recently got a Netflix adaptation.
That's the one with that's like that's like the Netflix Demon Slayer, right?
What? The what?
Is that
What do you call it?
am I is that's the one with like that's the samurai show, right? No.
No.
Oh, what am I thinking of?
I don't even know what show you're talking about. I'm gonna be real.
You don't know what show I'm talking about?
No. Dorohedoro is the show with the guy with the crocodile head, basically.
Okay, no, I've heard of this, but I have heard of this, but I don't recall the story. I'm thinking of something different. I don't know what I'm thinking of. I think I'm thinking of Doro. I think I'm thinking of Dororo.
What you're talking about?
I think the anime I'm thinking of is called Dororo. I think.
You're thinking of Dororo, not Dorohedoro.
Yeah. That's what it is. I'm sorry.
Dororo. But yeah, Dorohedoro. Yeah, Dorohedoro has been going on for like a long time, and I got into it like last year, I think. But it's become like, as I've been reading it, it's become one of my favorite manga. The art style, I don't know if any of you have seen the art style. In my opinion, the anime adaptation does not do the art justice. It's like a very sketchy, like grainy style. It's like very, and it sets the world perfectly. This world of like, I don't even know how to describe the world of Dorohedoro. It's just it's one of the most interesting manga I've ever seen. It reminds me of like a lot of 90s anime in terms of like, but it's like something you would never see today. I don't think anything like Dorohedoro would be made today, in my opinion. It is just like a...
Oh, it was done by Mappa.
Yeah, Mappa animated it.
Do you like me some Mappa?
Yeah, I like Mappa too. But if I remember, Dorohedoro was made in like... It started in like the 2000s, I think, and then it's like it went until 2018.
Wikipedia tells me it started 2000s.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just something that's, and I love the characters. They're very charming. A lot of you have probably seen Nikaido and especially Noi, like, you know, the big buff lady you've probably seen on Twitter with the white hair. I don't know if you've seen the artwork of her.
We'll put some pictures here in post of her. I don't actually know this character, but maybe if I saw a picture of her, I probably would be like, oh, that's her.
Yeah, you'd recognize Noi just from seeing, because like I've seen her all over Twitter from people like seeing Dorohedoro for the first time. But yeah, it's just like one of those manga where it's just like, it's so interesting. I don't think it would be made today, and I just love like almost everything about it. It's a very good manga.
Okay.
The next two are Beastars and Land of the Lustrous. You guessed them, Rachel. It's okay. Yeah. I already.
I bet we could have an entire episode about you talking about 3D anime and why these two are like the standard.
Yeah. Orange is the big standard. But I would actually like prefer people to read like. Well, I like Land of the Lustrous anime, but like I don't know when season 2 is coming, and the manga is still incredibly good.
Might as well just read the manga.
Yeah, you might as well just read the manga. It's a pretty great read as well, and I love the story. And Fos is one of the best protagonists I've ever seen. Fos is like such a strong character, and I just love watching like the character transformation. Like literally the character transformation, and also personality wise. She's such a great protagonist. And I'm not gonna say she like carries the manga or anything, but like she's such a strong character in my opinion. I love watching her. And then Beastars, I could do a whole tangent about why I like Beastars so much.
He's telling what he's trying to tell you here for the sake of time. Go read that manga. Go watch the show.
I've already been here talking about my manga favorites for a while now. So I'll go through this. Next one is JoJo Part 7, like Steel Ball Run.
Steel Ball Run.
Love Steel Ball Run.
That's the one where they're in America, right?
That's the one where they're in America, and it's the horse race.
Oh.
And you'd be like, "Wow, that sounds really stupid."
No.
Alright. Steel Ball Run is goated. I feel a lot of the JoJo community feels the same. Like the parts are so varied, so it's easy to like get attached to the favorite. But for me, Steel Ball Run is definitely like my favorite Araki work. It is, in my opinion, it's really tight. It's a really tight story, and I love the characters a lot. And like they're so well written. I think it's my favorite JoJo part by far. like maybe part 4 a little bit after. But yeah, part 7 go.
Nice.
Anime win.
Yeah.
This next one is interesting. It's Fate, Kaliad Liner, Prisma Ilia. Now, thing about Prisma is that a lot of people have only seen clips from the anime.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of people have only seen shit like
we all know the clip. We all know the clip.
Like niggas have seen people like, oh look, it's Miyu and Kuro kissing or whatever the fuck. And it's like, wow, dude, this show is so and it's like, no, Prisma Ilia is amazing. Like one of the reasons I like it so much is because one of the big ones is like you get to see the art evolution of the mangaka Hiroshi Hirayama. He goes from like this like really moe-ish style for like the tone, I guess, but like the art improvement over the course indefinitely like peaks at 3 Ray. His art improvement is incredible. I think I've talked about this before, but his art improvement for over the course of like writing and drawing for the manga has been amazing. The story has improved dramatically to the point where it's like one of just my favorite Fate things ever, because I'm a big Time Loop fan. But it's one of my favorite Fate things ever. I love... I used to be kind of iffy on this version of Ilia, but she's proven herself to be #MyMC. I love her. And I love the newer characters introduced as well. I think it's a really fun and creative take on the Fate series and this thing that's introduced. Overall, I really enjoy Prisma, and I think if you've never seen the Fate series before, it's kind of a interesting introduction. But I still say you should read the VN. But
I would never recommend that show to someone who's never
Prisma?
watched Fate.
The thing is, don't watch the show. The show does not do it justice, in my opinion. The manga is great. I love the manga.
Okay, I definitely did not expect that on your list. I definitely did not.
Prisma's pretty kino, especially 3 Ray. You've seen the first Snow, right, Mecha?
The first what?
Have you seen Prisma Ilia Oath or Snow?
I have never watched anything out of the first season.
You've only seen the first season?
Yeah, and I was like, no, I'm good. I don't think I need to watch any more of this.
I feel that. I feel that.
I just like lost faith.
Great. You lost faith?
I was like, you know what? I don't know if I can watch this in like just my house. If someone walks in on me watching this, then I might just like be in trouble. So I'm gonna not take the risk.
The slice of life moments are probably like definitely the low part, and a lot of like the gags. Like it's all right, but I really like the story, and like when it gets going, it really gets going. Okay. And a lot of people focus too much on like the aspect you're talking about. And it's barely even a part of the show. It's just the scene taken out of context, and people just like on it. And it's
they were just like, "Wow, nice."
Yeah, like, "Oh wow, blah blah blah." It's like,
I mean, I don't know if those scenes. I think that scene in context is still just as weird. But you know what? Just keep going.
It's more of that
the
whole thing. At least that's what I'm taking from it.
Yeah, it doesn't represent the whole thing. Like that scene blew up a lot more than it should have.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't really like the anime adaptation that much in comparison to the manga. A lot of people will back me on that as well. Like a lot of the Prisma will back me on that.
Okay. Well, I'm interested to see what you cut from this list to put Prisma Ilia on it, but let's see.
And the last thing I will finish with is Berserk.
Oh, good. I thought you would cut Berserk for Prisma Ilia. I was about to get up and leave. I was about to get up.
Can you count? I was only at my 8th.
I was about to get up. I was like, oh, if you missed Berserk.
No. I love Berserk far too much to cut it.
Good.
Berserk has, even though we've been stuck in a hiatus for a long ass time, usually Miura makes it worth it when he's not fucking playing Idolmaster.
Hell yeah.
And
hell yeah, brother.
Doing that. But yeah, Berserk has been an insane ride.
The true villain of the Berserk franchise is Idolmaster.
It's truly not Griffith. Not the hand.
Fuck Griffith.
It's Idolmaster.
Yeah, it really is. God damn it. God damn
Alright.
it, Bandai Scamco.
Scamco?
Anywho, on that note, I think we should move on to our next topic, which features anime that we think are overrated and underrated.
AKA the hot take corner.
Is that our next topic?
This is where Mecha's going to thrive. I want to start with what we think is overrated. Mecha, do you think you could?
Okay. So when I was like thinking about stuff, I actually had so when we were yeah, hello?
Bro, I know you're gonna bring up Tower of God, bro.
Okay, I actually want to talk about Tower of God. You know what? I'll talk about Tower of God right now. Okay. I was gonna save it for later because I was gonna wait to talk about it when I was talking about God of High School. But let's talk about Tower of God right now. So, Tower of God. Those of you who don't know, it was I believe the first Korean manhwa adaptation. I can't remember if there was another one that was like as high profile, at least, as Tower of God, because it's like one of the biggest. I think it's the biggest manhwa in the world. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
I don't know.
I would say it's one of the most well known. Like when you talk about Korean manhwa, you're probably going to talk about Tower of God, right?
You're going to talk about Tower of God. You're going to talk about Solo Leveling. You're going to talk about God of High School.
Yeah, those are like the staples of Korean manhwa. But the anime adaptation was the biggest waste of time I have ever like witnessed in my whole life. Okay? All these people telling me, oh, it's just the prologue, okay? It's gonna get better. I don't care. Okay? That was 13 episodes of my life. I'll never fucking get back. Ever.
Same.
Okay? I literally, if the second part was so good, just adapt the second part and give me this part in flashbacks. Because that's the amount of development I got from the characters. I might as well just been a flashback. Okay? It was a waste. A waste of my time.
Really that bad?
Okay? It was okay. Visually, it was okay. Okay, I know I said I'm a big visual person. The visuals were okay. Okay. They were not enough to carry that kind of just waste of time. Especially with the amount of people hyping it up to me. Like, it was like, oh, it's just going to be so good. It's going to be the next big thing. If the second season is like this, it's going to be nothing. Okay? That studio needs to... I don't even know who animated it. I was so furious. Okay. If the second season... If the second season does not... It's going to be like that. It's going to be really slow. Just like... You're going to introduce characters and they're not going to fully develop them. Or give them any development. Like the two main characters in the show, then I don't want to watch it. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm just not gonna watch it. Like, just take it out of my sight.
All right, glad we got that rant out of the way.
All right. Well, as someone who hasn't seen it, I've seen a lot of people echo the same sentiments that you felt. I don't know if either of you have seen the Sylvanas video about.
I was about to say, just go watch the Sylvanas video. You don't have to watch Tower of God.
I've seen a lot of the same sentiments. A lot of people, like when it was airing, I heard so much about Tower of God. Everybody was talking about it. People were hyping it up. I saw someone post this thing of like, Tower of God better than Demon Slayer.
Oh, who said that? Who said that?
I'm just looking left and right, like, y'all are gassing up Tower of God. And I was just waiting, like, okay, I'm going to wait for the show to finish, and I'm going to see how people will react. And I'm happy I didn't watch it while it was airing, because a lot of people were not happy with it.
I did not watch it while it was airing either. I watched like the first 4 episodes of it was airing, then I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to formulate an opinion after watching it all in one sitting and not having to, like, have the suspense of like waiting weekly, like kind of change my judgment, right? But if you watch all in one sitting, you realize it's almost entirely pointless of a season. If like all it's done is all it was supposed to do was build up for like the second arc of the show, like part 2. And I don't even think it did a great job of doing that, because I didn't feel anything for the character. Like, I didn't feel anything more for the characters than I did when I first encountered them.
Really?
Because they didn't develop them at all. The main character, dude, like, why? Why? What's the point? What's the point in that for that season for him? I wanted him to like develop into something more than just I want to climb the tower because of this girl, and then so spoilers. I'm gonna talk about spoilers here, obviously.
Oh boy!
Okay. At the fucking end, when she betrays him, and she just fucking essentially tries to kill him. Okay, at the end he's not like mad or anything. He's just like, I'm gonna climb the tower to find answers. I'm like, shut up, just shut up. Okay, I don't care. Hey, why do you say like you're still chasing after her even though she did this to you? Okay, like just get over her. Like, what is this? She wasn't even that good of a character. She literally had no development until the last episode where like kind of explained everything she did, and I still didn't feel shit. Okay.
Damn.
And she probably had like the most important development in that final episode. And they shoved it all into like a flashback. About all the events.
Wow.
And I'm like, they didn't give like any foreshadowing or anything like this. Like the foreshadowing they gave was really literally lame. Like obviously she was up to some shit, but like they dumped so much info in one episode where I'm just like, all right, this is just dumb. I think the only good character in the show was Kun, the blue hair guy that like everyone loves, because he's fantastic. But even he got zero development because I still don't understand what the hell is his deal. Like okay, there's an episode. There's an episode.
If you continued with the manhwa.
Man, I don't give a fuck about continuing on with the manhwa. Okay, give me something. They literally Okay, the worst part. They literally introduced a character from his past. They didn't even give him a name. They never said his name once. He's just like, yo, what's up? You're part of the Aguro family or whatever. The Kun family is like, yo, they hate you. And he's like, I know. I'm like, nice, good interaction. You don't even tell me who this character is. He came out of nowhere.
5 stars.
Yeah, great show, guys. I will say the music. Kevin Penkin, who also did Shield Heroes OST, fantastic. That's one of the best parts of the show is the music. Then there's just use of like these like really grand kind of themes for these characters. Is just fantastic. Like there's a lot of scenes where like you see like a big monster and like the music escalates. There's like a chorus of people singing. It's fantastic. I will say that's the best part of the show. Easily. Like that show really makes you feel like emotions. The emotions of a scene are portrayed really well in its OST. But that's about it. I would say that's the only good part about it. I would give like if I had to give Tower God like a rating the first season, I had to give it like the rating of just like 6. I give it a 6.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not in comparison to how long you were.
It's not okay. I think it's not okay. It's bad, but it's not like it's like one of the worst anime I've ever seen. Okay.
It's just mid. It's
overrated. Very overrated.
There we go.
If I'm looking at it with the expectations that people gave to me, it sucks. Okay, but as an anime standalone as itself, it's just whatever. I probably wouldn't watch it again, honestly.
Dang. Okay.
Well, Mecha, thanks for this warning. I guess I won't be consuming Tower.
Okay. If the second season, if they do animate a second season and it turns up to be like super fire and it actually like fix the issues from season 1, then I would say you have to go watch the first season. Because if they actually, do things right and they, actually use the prologue to set up they use like any unresolved threads from the prologue. Because there's a lot of unresolved plot threads. Let me tell you that. They just take it and they seamlessly tie it together with the second season, then sure. The first season will become a must watch. Just to understand events in the second season. But I could see a world where you don't even need to watch the first season.
Damn. All right. So we've been on our Tower of God bit for a while, but is there like any other anime that we'd like want to mention?
Let's talk about some two very, very popular anime in the anime community, at least right now. Let's talk about My Hero and Demon Slayer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because I'm someone who thinks My Hero to be very good, but at times I feel like it's overrated. Quite often. Thoughts?
I'm gonna have to agree.
Do you guys have any thoughts? Sorry.
I think it's pretty good. I'm more familiar with the manga of My Hero than the anime. Like I haven't seen the new season.
Mm.
Um, but from what I've gathered, the general hype surrounding it, for the most part, I feel like it lived up to. Um, there are some moments though where I just feel like maybe the community's been like, I don't know, putting it like up on such like a huge pedestal for no reason.
Mm-hmm. I just think it's like a really popular shonen series, and a lot of really popular shonen series are some people they just watch that show, and it's like I watch My Hero Academia.
This is
period.
This is the thing about My Hero. My Hero is about fucking superheroes, bro, and you know how much the Western crowd loves superheroes. This is evident just from Marvel movies. So if you thought it was a surprise that something like My Hero would like blow up, it's like you're dumb, honestly. Like if you didn't think My Hero wasn't going to be like supremely popular just based off the premise alone, then I don't know what to tell you. Because like, it's like a big shonen in the wake of like Naruto, Bleach, and like what's another, like in the wake of a lot of like long running like shonen ending. Obviously, people are gonna be like, "Well, I need the next Naruto. I need the next Bleach. What's going on with that?" Like a lot of people are just gonna flock to it, and it's like it's a really solid show. It's a really solid, well written show most of the time.
But my question is, do you think it deserves all the hype it gets?
That's the thing. Like,
I don't necessarily think so.
It's not. I feel like you can't just stop like a show from being like hyped. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, does it deserve it? Like, what do you mean? Does it deserve?
I mean,
is the writing good enough?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Okay? So a lot of people they talk about things like when they talk about My Hero Academia, they talk about the story, the characters, the animation. Personally, I don't think the animation's that great. They just color in manga panels sometimes.
Well, I would say
there are times where there's good animation, I will say, but there are a lot of moments where they're just colored in manga panels.
I personally have more of a problem with the way some fights are choreographed, but that's less of like an animation thing and more of like another problem.
So what are we gonna talk about the animation now, or are we gonna talk about like if it's overhyped or because
I think the animation adds to the it being overhyped. Like maybe like I think there are times in My Hero Academia where I'm just like, where like people like link me a fight and they're like, "Oh, this is so good," and I'm like, no. That's how I felt. That's how I felt the whole fight. Okay, sorry. That's what I felt about the fight versus what's his name? What is that guy's name? Overhaul. I didn't think the Overhaul fight was like that great. Yeah, I didn't think the Overhaul fight was that great. I think there's like one pretty cool scene where they like they had like all like the fists and like they like multiply it. I don't even remember if that was if I'm even thinking of the right fight. I think it was like when he did like the 1,000,000% thing, and like that was like pretty cool. But like the like the rest of the fight and like him like jumping on the rocks and stuff, it's all right. But I don't think it was something. It was like some incredible like piece of animation from Bones.
Maybe not like the hallmark of what animation should be.
And like maybe it doesn't need to be that, but like I said, the expectations people always put on stuff like this, I always expect it to be something that will like blow my mind, and rarely is it something that blows my mind.
I think that general hype comes with a show as like huge and like well received by a lot of people as it is. So it makes sense why it would get that hype. I just believe personally, I don't think it lives up to that specifically.
Okay.
But the thing is, right, if we're still talking about animation, the animation, in my opinion, is still The thing that sets it above like a lot of like shonen like anime adaptations, number one, it's done in these like seasons. It's not just like long running. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh
Because the thing about Bones is that Bones like did a very smart way of adapting it. They let the manga catch like they let themselves like catch up to the manga. They're not like doing anything like filler arcs or anything. They do it in like these seasons and they wait for the manga to go even further so they can adapt more content. And that's great. And it allows for the production to be a lot more consistent and look a lot better than a lot of like the standard like long running shonen adaptations that have like very Mecha, you've seen Naruto.
Of course.
I know you've seen a lot of scenes of people just, you know,
Like the pain fight.
just the pain fight. Like, no. The pain fight is pretty, in my, like, people, like, shit on the pain fight about, like, oh, this frame looks so weird.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. But you're not supposed to look at it
Yeah.
frame by frame. You're supposed to look at it as, like, a continuous, like, thing, you know, because it's animation.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate on the pain fight, but I think it's a pretty good fight. But the thing about My Hero is that, like, it's a lot more consistent of a production because of the way that Bones is adapting it. I think Canva Effect made a good video on why the animation in My Hero is good. And when it comes to things like the fight choreography, when they're allowed to bump it up and use like it for their budget with the Sakuga, it looks really fantastic. Especially, in my opinion, my favorite My Hero fight, it was the fight in season 2 where Midori is fighting against what's his name?
Todoroki.
Todoroki. And I love
I will say that is one of the best animated fights.
That one, when I think of like My Hero fights, that one just stands out to me.
That whole season is a standout for me. I think I think season 2 was one of their best seasons. Maybe season 3 might be better. I don't think so.
I really like the build up to season 3. I can't choose between 2 and 3. They're both really good.
Yeah, but like the thing about My Hero, like going back to it being like, if it's overhyped, the thing about that is you can't deny it's still a very like solidly written shonen.
Oh, of course.
And it's not like very particularly messy when it comes to like the common trappings that shonen find themselves like into. Like the Hori knows what tropes to follow and what tropes to like stay away from.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, he doesn't do it like 100% all the time, but it's still one of the most extremely solid.
Yeah.
And like when you think about that, like a lot of the big shows like that get really popular have like a level of consistency to them. Like one of the most highly rated shows of all time is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And that's because it's a very strong story, very consistent, not very messy, very strong characters and stuff like that. I'm not comparing My Hero to, but I'm just saying a lot of people like value consistency.
I mean, it's interesting because it's both are actually animated by Bones.
Yeah, both. Yeah, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go.
But yeah, I don't like it's solid, and considering the premise.
Okay, so my question for you
don't think it's
is:
a surprise.
Do you think it's overhyped? That is the question.
Is it overhyped?
Do you think it deserves all of the hype it gets?
I think it's worth the hype. Like, if you recommend someone My Hero Academia, I think you're gonna have a pretty fun time. I'm not gonna say like, oh, it's the best anime ever or anything, but I think overall it's a pretty solid show that honestly earns its spot as something you should watch, something you should give your time to. And I think it's worth a watch. That's because like you hype something up like Tower of God, and like it ends up being only okay, but My Hero is pretty above average.
Yeah, okay.
And I think it's definitely very much worth a lot of people's time, and a lot of people end up enjoying it because of that. So I think if something's able to spread like that and get really popular, and a lot of people enjoy it, and it has a lot of praise to it, I think it's worth it. I don't think it's particularly overhyped just because it has some faults or anything.
Yeah, so I there's a reason it's on my 3x3. I think it's very, very, very good. Obviously, I think it's one of the most well-done shonen. I think it's one of Studio Bones' best work. Like, right up there next to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which I think is their best work. in my opinion.
I feel that.
But if you're so it depends on how you're hyping it up, right? If you're hyping this up as
The best show of all time.
best show of all time, absolutely not. There's way better shows.
Yeah.
I'd say, there's just way better shows in general. But if you're recommending this as a show for people to watch, definitely watch this show. If you're into like superheroes, if you like shonen in general, this is a good show to watch.
It's a great show if you like shonen, and I think that's why a lot of people gravitated toward it, especially after like I said, Naruto ended, Bleach ended, stuff like that.
It was a very, very good window for this show to come out, like right at the tail end of Naruto ending, because it's a very similar story to Naruto, like very similar.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people like compare it to Naruto, but I think the writing is a lot more solid and consistent than Naruto, and I think that's why you can praise a lot more. But I think whatever. But I've said my piece. Was
that a hot take? Was that a hot take?
I think you want me to just
go ahead. Just say it.
I think in my opinion, I think a lot of people have said this. Naruto's highs are very high, but Naruto's lows are also very low. I think Naruto's highs are better than My Hero, but I think Naruto's lows are a lot worse than My Hero. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people would share that same.
Yeah, I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's a very shared take, because I agree. Because Naruto's lows are just like, all right, I'm gonna not watch this for a few months.
I hate Naruto.
I'm not gonna watch this for a few months because this damn filler arc just don't end.
Yeah, that's another thing. All the filler. There's so many episodes.
The sad thing about that,
can consume in season.
The sad thing about that is there's actually not a lot of filler in Naruto. Like comparatively, like I think it has one of the lowest filler
counts
to canon ratio. So another topic that I want to talk about actually is Demon Slayer, another very popular show.
Kimetsu no Yaiba.
So you've read the whole manga, right?
I finished the whole thing, yes.
Okay.
Wow.
What are your thoughts on just Demon Slayer as a whole? Some people are I've heard people call it like the next big three, like it being like the equivalent to like what Bleach was to people back then.
What Bleach was? Well, the thing about Bleach is that Bleach didn't get to have the ending it wanted.
Yeah.
Bleach had to rush its final. They literally gave our boy Taite Kubo, they gave that man a deadline. You need to finish Bleach in like 4 chapters or so. And that sucks. So yeah, and Bleach was also a very interesting series, but it's still close to my heart. I don't really want to compare Bleach to Demon Slayer, but
it's like it's not. I agree. There's no real comparison.
But I know what you mean by comparing it to Big Three, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't think there is really a Big Three anymore, because
I agree. I actually agree.
The definition of Big Three is like very representative of that era of anime.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Because like the Big Three consists of like Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. I'm pretty sure. But like, or was it in Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Bleach? Was that?
It was no. I think when you're referring to Big Three, specifically, I don't think Dragon Ball was in that Big Three. I think it was Bleach, Naruto, One Piece at the peak of Big Three era. You could probably interchange Bleach and like Dragon Ball, but like for sure Naruto, One Piece for sure.
I mean, the thing about that is like One Piece isn't nearly as popular in the Western sphere as it is in Japan.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So like a lot of people would replace One Piece with Dragon Ball Z when it comes to like the Western Big Three, but in terms of like Big Three overall, I think it's One Piece, Naruto, Bleach. But yeah, I don't think there's like a Big Three anymore, in my opinion. So I'm not gonna like drag it into that kind of thing. But what I feel about Demon Slayer overall is that like Demon Slayer is a very, especially as like the mangaka's first manga, I'm pretty sure.
Is it? That's incredible.
I think Demon Slayer is her first. I think Demon Slayer is Gatoge's first manga, which is very impressive and amazing considering how much it blew up. Especially like the Ufotable adaptation made it very popular. But I think it's amazing how popular it got for like the mangaka's first manga.
Yeah.
But I think it's a lot of people talked about this when it was first coming out, but it's a very solid shonen. The thing about it is like it's very similar to My Hero. It's like it has like tropes it knows to follow, but also tropes it knows how to not fall into. But it's also like very unique when it comes to like subverting sometimes, not to a big degree, but sometimes just like, whoa, I didn't expect this to happen or something. But it's a very solid show, and the characters are very likable in my opinion. I think a lot of people when they talk about Kimetsu, they really like the characters. Everyone likes Tanjiro. Everyone likes Nezuko a lot. Like people really love Nezuko, me included. Everyone really loves Inosuke, and I love Inosuke. Like the characters are just very likable. It's very easy to get attached to them, and the story is like very. It's pretty compelling in my opinion, and it makes you really makes you want to keep watching. And we're just talking about. Are we talking about the anime? Let's
just talk about the anime.
Yeah.
The anime as well. Okay. So basically take all that I said about what I was just talking about and then put it into this beautiful, ufotable adaptation where the animation looks fantastic and the fight scenes look breathtaking. And like, I'm pretty sure episode 19's fight scene made like world news.
Yeah, it did. So people outside of the anime community, like they heard news about the Hinokami part.
Yeah.
Because I think Demon Slayer deserves all the hype that it gets. Not for best anime I've ever seen, the animation of the decade. I don't think necessarily. I mean, that we've all seen the Funimation list, and apparently it's like the way that they said animation, they didn't necessarily mean like anime of the decade. They just like we're talking about
best animation.
The best animation. Maybe
I think it's
I'm trying to think of like something that looks better than that. Like it's just anime only. Obviously, if we're talking about like movies, then there's a better looking.
There's a lot better looking movies, but as like a TV
anime,
anime.
I really struggle to think of an anime that looks as fantastic as Demon Slayer did. I honestly think Demon Slayer is ufotable at its very peak, in my opinion. From what we've seen so far, and I've seen almost every single ufotable work. Like, I used to think their peak was like,
Fate.
I actually think Card no Kyokai looked better than Fate, but
you do. Oh, I can see that. I can see Card like that.
But that's also a movie. That's also a movie series.
Funny.
So
that's the thing is that's a movie series. That's not a TV show.
But
those are like all movies. Card no Kyokai. Funny how they're all both type movies. Isn't that funny? How Fate and Card no Kyokai are both type. That's very interesting. Anyway, please watch Card no Kyokai.
Yeah, dude, please watch Card no Kyokai. But I think I really struggle to find from all the anime I've ever seen. I've struggled to find an anime that looks better than Demon Slayer. Easily, I think it's the best looking show I've ever seen. Easily, and I've watched like.
The thing is that's a very subjective thing. Like for me personally, best looking show. It's like it depends on like what you're looking for.
Well, I'm not even talking about like character designs or anything like that. Just like the way that Ufotable animates like their movement. When they're actually animated, it's not like when they do like the quick like 3D shots. You know, because that wasn't Demon Slayer where they just did like 3D, but it's like almost like seamless. It's the way that they animate motion, and every time like there's like a fight, every swing in a fight is you see like the weight of the sword and like just the way that they're cutting through. It's all so smooth, right? Can you imagine like watching that in like Demon Slayer in like 4K, something like that?
Okay, well, no, I don't think you should watch anime.
That would be, I don't know, dude. But just like I'm saying, that anime is just fantastic in terms of its movement. It's like the after effects that they did as well are fantastic. As you can see in episode 19, the Hinokami was like one of the biggest like scenes I think in like the last year.
Scenes. Yeah.
In general, like everything Ufotable touches is gold in my opinion. But this was at their peak I think.
Everything.
I don't know about gold.
Okay, they make it look
good.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. But I'm talking about gold. I'm talking about in terms of appearance. I don't think they have a bad looking show. That's what I think.
Whether or not it's fake gold on the inside.
Yeah.
Is it chocolate? Is it a chocolate coin?
But yeah, I do think Demon Slayer deserves all the hype that it gets. Actually.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think anyone would argue it's best looking TV anime. Well, I'd say it's one of the best looking TV anime I've seen. But
I like I said, I'm willing to say it's not. But of all the anime I've ever seen, I cannot think of a show that looks better than Demon Slayer.
I think I can think of a couple of shows that are comparable. Hibike Euphonium. A lot of KyoAni works look very fantastic in my opinion, especially something like Violet Evergarden.
Okay.
The thing about Violet Evergarden is I feel like the filters are a little overkill. I think the animation on Violet Evergarden by itself would look great, but the filters were like just adding a lot more to it. But I still think Violet Evergarden in tons of KyoAni shows, just by being so just consistently beautiful throughout the airing of the show, especially a show like Hibike and Haruhi and well, that's an older example, Haruhi, but like still Hibike. If you're looking for like a more moe style, I think Maid Dragon
has some fantastic animation. I will
like
admit
even just like normally and like even like I love KyoAni because they are able to make like the simplest actions really nice looking. Mm-hmm. I don't think like a lot. Demon Slayer had a lot of scenes where it's just like them like, you know, kind of just standing around talking. That comes with like adapting shonen. A lot of people are just like standing around talking, like explaining stuff like that. But like KyoAni like does like those little moments extremely well. Just like the little details. Even something like some character eating a cheeseburger can look incredibly amazing somehow because KyoAni did it. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, man, I think there's a lot of shows that are comparable. I don't think it's fair to say that Demon Slayer is automatically the best looking TV anime because there's a lot of competition and it's not even just like about just looking. It's also about like the style and like the little intricacies and stuff like that. But I won't argue that it's still one of the best looking TV anime that I've seen personally.
Okay. It's fair enough.
All right.
And by the way, if we're just talking about movie, like if we're also including anime movies, go watch Kaiju no Kodomo. Wow.
What is that in English?
Children of the Sea, I think.
Children of the Sea.
Something like it was done by Studio 4C. Like it's a kind of like a 3D anime. Mm-hmm. You'll just look up Kaiju no Kodomo if you've ever seen it. I don't think a lot of people did. I watched that like recently. Wow. Crazy. I don't even know how they did how they managed to do that. But yeah, watch Kaiju no Kodomo. That's that is probably one of the best animated things I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah.
But okay. So another thing I want to talk about before we move on to the next topic. If you want, let's talk. You mentioned Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood earlier.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
So, but I remember when we were preparing topics for this episode, you had something to say. You had something to say about Full Metal Alchemist 2003.
I will admit that I am a fan of Full Metal Alchemist 2000. Yes.
Okay. I think Full Metal Alchemist 2003 is an absolute joke.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's interesting.
I think it's an absolute joke. Because it's not, I don't think, because one, the ending to 2003 is not even like accurate to the adaptation of the manga at all. It's like an anime original ending. It wasn't that good. Mm-hmm. I think it's obviously older, so I don't like the animation. Don't like how it looks. I think everything's very clearly dated. That show does not age well. Brotherhood ages like oh hello. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
So I think Brotherhood has aged perfectly, like a fine wine. It still holds up to this day. Its story, its characters, awesome. Just way better. In my opinion, there's no reason for you to watch 2003.
Really?
You just watch Brotherhood.
I was just gonna ask.
There's no reason for you to watch
No,
2003.
Consider 03 a must watch.
Let me say something. So, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that the mangaka for FMA 2000, for FMA, said that she didn't want the anime and the manga to be the same experience. I think she said that outright when 2003 and the manga started to diverge. And to be fair, they are completely different experiences. I don't think they were entirely trying to go and just follow the manga. There are a lot of similarities, but I will say that there's a lot of things that the 2003 anime does a lot better than Brotherhood. And it's different enough, it's far different enough so that it is worth a watch. Now, I don't know if you're gonna let me explain why. Let me run down the things I think 2003 does better, right?
Go.
The thing about Brotherhood, the thing that Brotherhood that stops it, right, is the start. Because the Brotherhood just skims the start. It blazes through the start of the thing. And that's fucked. Because what Brotherhood assumes is that you watched 2003. They literally just assume that. Because they just skip past a lot of the opening arcs very fast. By the time Blank dies, right? By the time Blank dies, you're already this is just the very start. They just rush past the beginning just to get to the start, the stuff that the 2003 didn't get to. And that's messed up because I think the start of FMA is also very important because you get to see, because I'm gonna be real with you, the start of 2003 is very strong. The first episode in comparison to Brotherhood's first episode, 2003's first episode is better.
No,
far better.
No, it's not. It's really not.
You think?
No. I thought the first episode of Brotherhood was fantastic. It did a fantastic
episode where
job.
they're wandering around the city and solving stuff is a lot better than Ed and Al transmutating their mother and literally because in Brotherhood you barely spend any time with Trisha Elric at all. You barely get to know why Trisha Elric is important to the Elrics at all. You get to see Trisha's relationship with the brothers before she dies. You get to see why they would want to transmutate their mother back to life, bless their naive souls. And you get to see how their origin story begins and Trisha being brought back to life as the terrible monstrosity that she is. It's a lot more terrifying in 2003. Because of the fact of not only just the lighting and how the scene is set, the directing, but also just the fact that, you've seen Trisha and you've seen her interact with her sons and a little bit of Hohenheim, I believe, and you get to see more of their family life, but Brotherhood just blazes past all that because blah, 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 it doesn't matter. I hope you watch 2003 or else you'll barely know who Trisha is. And it's what the fuck? I don't think that's any better than what Brotherhood did. What Brotherhood did is they showed a random fight of them chasing after the ice guy throughout the city, and it doesn't really do a good job of setting the stage, not even for the Elrics at all. Even for Roy Mustang, it's fucked in Brotherhood episode. He doesn't get to do anything cool. But Roy's introduction in 2003 is also a lot cooler in my opinion. But that's not even here or there. But no, I think 2003's opening episode is way better. Or no, I haven't even gone to the other points of beginning. 2003 has a lot of other great moments at the start of them showcasing man, I think the stuff with Shao Tucker in 2003 is way better. Shao Tucker is a much better character because you actually get to see more of everyone. I know everyone has seen that fucking oh, the dog fused with the girl. Like, literally. Oh my god. FMA niggas need to get more jokes. I see that meme on my timeline way too often. FMA people will just repeat the same joke over and over. Yes, we know the girl fuses with the dog. We get it. Okay?
Every single Father's Day, it's the same joke.
Every single joke. Oh, best father of the year, guys. Gendo Ikari, Shout Tucker. Like, okay. That's beside the point. That's beside the point. Anyway, the Shao Tucker arc is done a lot better because you spend a lot more time with Shao's daughter. You get to see why it impacted the Elrics. Because, like, Brotherhood, you only spend like 30 minutes in that arc. In 2003, you spend 3 episodes and you really get to care for Ed and Al's interactions with this child. And when you see the horrifying thing that Shao Tucker has done with his child, you really feel that shit because you see how important, like that kid, like, you have 3 episodes to get attached to her.
Mm.
And that's a lot more weight, impactful, and a lot of people will agree that that's a lot better than what Brotherhood did. As I said, Brotherhood just blazes by. And I don't think that's cool. I think a lot of the setup for FMA, both like tone-wise, is a lot better done in 2003. Mm. And people are so quick to just blow it off just because, oh, it's just a meme just to watch 2003. I haven't even gotten into like the differentiation between like 2003 and Brotherhood. That's the thing. But will you let me go into that actually? Because all I've been doing is talking about like how the beginning is better than Brotherhood in my opinion.
How about this? Let's give the take. We'll talk about that another time. I would love. Okay, because it has been. Like, I said the take, but it has been a while since I watched like the first couple parts of 2003. Not that I don't believe in my take. I still think that you can still get a full experience from watching Brotherhood.
Oh no, absolutely. But I hate it. I absolutely hate it when people just blow off all the great things that 2003 did. Because 2003 was like the reason FMA blew up in the first place. If people didn't like 2003, then there would be no Brotherhood. There would be no 2003 is what made FMA such a big household name in the first place. And Brotherhood took the great stuff from the manga and improved on it. But a lot of the ideas from 2003 that aren't in the manga are actually some of them are very great ideas.
So you're saying that without 2003, Brotherhood is not one of the highest rated anime of all time. That's what you're saying?
I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. I said that 2003's quality, before Brotherhood came out, 2003's quality is what allowed Brotherhood to exist, in my opinion. I'm not saying anything like 2003 is better than Brotherhood or anything like that, but I just don't like it when people just blow off 2003 just because they hear, oh, watch Brotherhood instead. Mm. Now, there is a lot of trash in 2003. There are a lot of ideas that hit the wall and don't stick, but there's a lot to it there, and Brotherhood and 2003 are very different from each other. They offer completely different experiences. It's not like 2003 is just an outright worse version, but they are just they're very different stories. They share a lot of the same characters, but they're basically just completely different stories, and they both have a lot of different things to offer. Both have their advantages and disadvantages, but I just don't like when people just blow off 2003 just because they hear, oh, watch Brotherhood instead. It's better. Even though a lot of those same people have not seen 2003. I respect your opinion because you've seen 2003 and you have your opinion, but, people who haven't seen 2003 and are just like, watch Brotherhood instead, it's just like, okay, well, whatever, bro.
All right. Well, there you go. I think that's it. I think that puts a lid on that topic. I would love we can definitely rehash this topic sometime in the future because I was thinking of doing another rewatch of both just to have an analysis. I would love to re-talk about this in the future, but let's move on. Let's move on to the next topic.
I'm very passionate about FMA 2003. If you haven't noticed,
before we do that, this is getting a little bit close to when I have to get up. Yeah.
Okay. So, how about we just skip this next topic? We don't want to talk about. We don't have to talk about seasonal anime because I really want to talk about this last topic.
Okay.
Oh, the last topic.
Yeah.
Do you think we
Rachel, how much time you got?
I've got like 13 minutes before this storm.
Oh God.
I don't think we're gonna be able to talk about that.
Okay.
This topic in particular, I don't think we're
I
gonna be able
wanted
to
to
talk.
ask if we could like use topics 3, 4, and then maybe make like a 5 and a 6 for something
Next
in the
time.
future. Yeah, if we want to keep doing this.
Okay. So
Like,
you.
All right.
sort of like wrap it up with maybe something we feel like is
Okay. Well.
underrated.
Okay. So if you have less time, we'll move on to the next. We'll just do topic 3, and then we'll save the fourth topic. Because I really want to talk about the fourth topic. I'll save that for next week. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or for next time we do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, topic 3.
What's the last topic?
Last topic is we're going to talk about this season because I think
season?
there's a lot to talk about.
Oh, let me bring up the Mal.
Okay.
Specifically
Yeah,
for me.
I know you want to shill Rent a Girlfriend.
Specifically for me.
Yeah, Mecha, we know you want to show Rent a
Okay.
Girlfriend. Just give it
Rent-
out.
okay. Kanokari, here's my take. Kanokari
Yes.
is one of the best rom-coms I've seen in a very long time. Easily.
It's not a very high bar.
I think.
in my
Okay.
opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are
you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
What is your opinion?
Okay. So I've seen only 2 episodes of Kanokari. Okay. I have watched 5 episodes of Kaguya-sama.
By the
I
way,
like-
Mecha,
I like Kanokari better so far.
By
I
the
think
way,
Kanokari has more potential than Kaguya-sama. That's my take. That's my
Are
take.
people gonna see your PFP because your PFP is literally? Are people gonna see your PFP, right?
Yeah, they are. They are.
Okay.
Okay,
Both
so
on Twitter and on Discord.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So I have read a lot. Okay. So I've been doing some research. Okay. I've been reading a little bit of Kaguya. Obviously, I'm not super caught up on it. I am caught
You've
up.
been reading Kaguya?
I've also been reading it. Yeah. I think it's very good.
Wait, you haven't even seen season 2 yet. What the fuck?
I'm just reading it.
Bruh moment. Okay.
Okay,
keep
so
going.
I've been reading it, but I've also completely caught up on Kanokari. Okay, and so far from the production and just everything like being put together, around the anime, I think Kanokari should be one of the most talked about rom-coms like right now. I think more people should be
Really?
watching it. More people should be talking about it because the voice cast is absolutely perfect. Okay, the music, incredible. Characters, the main character kind of sucks. Okay, I will say that, but
Oh.
he is carried by the supporting cast. Supporting cast, fantastic. Chizuru, fantastic. Absolutely great character, especially if you read her in the manga. Read the manga, the development she gets throughout the whole story, even the development of the main character, they are amazing. Like at the point in the story, they're great characters. Okay, the animation, I think Studio TMS Production, they're just doing a great job. Okay, like they take. I know. I was shitting on My Hero Academia for taking like manga panels and then coloring them in. This is more than that. They take the manga panels here and they just make them feel more lively and more bright, more colorful. Which I understand is what they're supposed to do, but the way that they do it is just amazingly done. I will say that.
Okay.
Kaguya-sama, it's 2 episodes right now, and I'm saying if they continue on with the quality, then this will be one of the best rom-coms I have ever seen in my life.
You still haven't seen Kare Kano yet.
Easy.
You should watch Kare.
That is on my list. That is on my list.
In my opinion, I think you should finish Kaguya-sama before you make a claim that bold.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. I'm just saying. I have not finished either series because Kanokari is not yet done. But I'm saying the potential it has the potential to overpass something like Kaguya-sama.
Wow.
To be fair, Rachel, Kaguya. The thing about Kaguya is that it's a lot more comedy focused. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
The romance is still there, and it's still like a very driving force of the show. But it's a lot more comedy focused just from the setup alone. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're looking for more romance in your romantic comedy, then Rent a Girlfriend's probably going to be your go-to. But if you're not not for all that, like, then you're probably gonna like Kaguya-sama a lot more. Especially like, I think comedies are like, in my opinion, comedy shows can like just transcend like if you like because see a lot of people just like watch a seasonal show, right? And then they just kind of like forget about it unless someone just happens to bring like a show up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of just like the nature of seasonal anime. But the thing about like comedy anime tends to stick in people's minds for a lot longer. That's why we're still talking about shit like Konosuba. That's why we're still talking about stuff like Kaguya. People are still talking about Kaguya, and it got popular enough to get a season 2. So I feel like, you know, since Kaguya leans more into the comedy aspect than the romance aspect, romance is probably what Mecha's looking for a lot more than the comedy.
Yeah,
right, Mecha?
I would say so. But I mean, Kano Kari is really funny still. I would say it has a lot of its comedic moments and a lot of cringe moments that I really laugh at.
There are a lot of cringe.
Cringe in my rom-coms. I live for cringe in my rom-coms. They're so funny.
Cringe in my rom-coms.
They're so funny. So that's part of the reason. That's part of the reason why I like Nisekoi so much. Because it's a lot of cringe. A lot of cringe. A lot of time.
Rachel.
Way too much cringe. I was just saying I get secondhand embarrassed so easily that like if there's something that like in a rom-com, then I generally stay away from it.
Yeah, so, I feel that.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel that.
Next thing I want to talk about the season quickly. Have any of you seen ReZero yet? The new season?
No, I've seen all of ReZero season 1 in the first episode of season 2.
Okay.
Rachel.
I've seen all of season 1. I've been told I wanted to watch season 2, but I've been told don't watch it if you like Rem, and I like Rem a lot.
Okay.
So, you're gonna take an L if you like Rem.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. The first episode, I was really pissed off. Okay, so this is the reason why I made this take.
Okay.
But I do believe in this take. I do think ReZero is okay, but I think it's just suffer porn for people. They watch it because they want to feel like shit, or they read it because they want to feel like shit.
Ooh.
That's what I think. That's what I think about ReZero.
That is quite the take.
I think that's
that is a take.
I don't think ReZero is necessarily like.
Would you call it suffer porn that insists upon itself? Cry misery porn that insists upon itself, as some people would say.
Yeah, I think so. I would say that. I would say that some of this things that they put the characters through, there's like no like real reason to put them through other than, you know, I want to make the audience feel like shit. I feel like that's like ReZero just does that at times, and I'm just like, okay, this is kind of just dumb. Like maybe that's okay. I will say I have not read the whole novel through. I'm just talking about the anime itself, but that's the vibe that I got from the anime. That it's just suffering for no real reason. They just wanted to. I just think they just wanted to get a reaction from their audience, and they wanted to just keep them hooked if they enjoy stuff like that. I don't think it's particularly anything groundbreaking, in my opinion.
I feel you on that, but the thing is, number one, the first thing about ReZero is that I feel like it came out at a time where like a lot of people were just getting tired of all like the isekai coming out, and like they all felt the same. They all literally just felt like the same. Like, oh, self-insert is pretty powerful, and he's got this like harem of women, and they all want his dick, and it's like, well, whatever. But I think ReZero came out like during the time where a lot of people were getting tired of that, and like it also had like a pretty engaging like setup for like a story. Like every time he dies, he like has to come back to like a spot, and he has to like find out what he did wrong and solve the error and like get through it and try to figure out how to get back to his like his home. And I feel like that as a setup is really engaging. And there's also a lot of characters that people get attached to, like Rem. Like I feel like if Rem wasn't a likable character, then I feel like she wouldn't be nearly as popular as she was. But because ReZero has such like, in my opinion, pretty likable characters, I feel like you still want to see what happens to them and like how Subaru. It's still engaging in the fact that you still want to see Subaru get through like all the suffering he's been through and manage to have like a happy life with these people. And it's just like, well, I feel what you mean on like, oh, this is just like insisting upon itself, and it's like, oh, it's just like fucking misery for Subaru. Like, oh, this is a terrible thing that's happened. And it does that a lot, but I feel like that's to showcase how like fucked up like the world is and like how dangerous it is for Subaru to navigate this shit. And when he does get out of a situation, you feel very proud of him and you feel pretty rewarded for like getting that far, watching Subaru do his thing and managing to find his way out of a situation. It's pretty engaging, and I feel like that's why a lot of people fell in love with it. And I feel like season 2 is going to carry that, because episode 1 literally started off with a fucking twist, and it's like, oh shit, season 1 didn't end as happily as you thought it did, and it's just well shit, and it's like carrying on the spirit, and I feel like that's why it's going to be another big hit this season. But I do feel what you mean, but as someone who enjoys ReZero, I can't really agree.
Oh, I enjoy ReZero too. Oh. I'm just saying that there are most of the time I feel like it's just misery porn. So that's honestly not that that's a bad thing. I mean, I actually enjoy that. But for people who I know people who are trying to like overanalyze it and like kind of hype it up to be something that's not, I feel like it's at its core just misery porn.
I don't think it's that groundbreaking or anything. I just think it's a very solid, and engaging show. And I think it has characters that you really want to see, keep going. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, I don't think it's like a groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's an isekai.
A groundbreaking isekai or a good isekai is pretty hard to come by in today's time.
Yeah, it's so oversaturated.
It's such an that's the thing. Isekai is such an oversaturated market now. You have trash, like what we talked about. This is like how we started the episode. We talked about isekai. Now we're talking about isekai again. We're talking about like shit like the mom
all comes back to isekai.
Yeah. But yeah, ReZero is one of those really solid ones, along with like the ones that came out recently, like Shield Bro came out, and Slime came out, and ReZero came out, and Konosuba came out. There has been these like little flashes of hope and like solidness that have, like great stuff like that have them, but it's a lot more above average than the trash we have at the bottom. And that's why I feel like, if you're looking for a good isekai that actually like tells a pretty solid story, people are going to gravitate to ReZero. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Great.
Sure. Is there anything else from this season that kind of caught your eye? Obviously, there's God of High School, another manhwa adaptation done by Studio Mappa, which I'm so impressed with what they've given us so far in the first 2 episodes. That show's going to be a hit. That show is 100% going to be a hit, especially among like just shonen fans in general, because it's literally just a tournament arc for the whole 12 episodes. But
the tournament. There's, I don't know. This season is kind of to me. Like, the things that I really like from this season are like things that I've already like caught from an ongoing thing. Like, all of the things I like from this season are just sequels. So it's like, what the fuck?
That's true.
It's like, it's Fire Force Season 2, Sword Art Online Alicization, people like Oregairu, Snafu. Oh, I forgot whatever people call it, but like Yore Ore no Session Love Comedy, like that show. That's Season 3. ReZero Season 2. Did I mention No Guns Life Season 2? Like, a lot of the really, really shows that people really are like interested in this season are all sequels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's nothing original except for Kanokari. Watch that shit.
Yeah, Kanokari. But yeah.
All right. So that's pretty much. I think that's going to be pretty much it for us.
Wait, what's up,
today.
Rachel?
Nothing really. I don't have anything particular in mind. I gotta go.
Okay, so
I feel you.
We'll just do a quick outro. So go ahead, take us out.
All right. So thanks everyone for watching or listening rather the Listen Up Anime podcast. It's been a pleasure being on here with you guys and hearing both of you discuss and also getting to voice some of my opinions. I hope we can continue to do this soon. If this takes off, which I hope it will, hopefully we'll find ourselves on a bigger platform, and hopefully we can get some more guests on.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have some interesting guests in the future. Let me just say that.
Oh yeah, you're bringing in.
We're gonna have some very interesting topics. But yeah. Any other closing remarks? Astral, you got anything?
Number 1, thank you for being a goated host, Rachel. I really appreciate it.
Indeed.
Number 2, fuck you, Mecha.
What the fuck? All right. Okay.
Number 3, thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.
All right. And fuck Full Metal Alchemist 2003.
Oh
all right.
my God.
We'll see you all next week. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.